Welcome to first grade. In this introductory first grade math workshop, we will focus on the big ideas of math to explore and expose our first graders to, as well as the top three math tools, the manipulatives and the representations, that our kids will benefit from experiencing, which will provide a strong foundation for them as mathematicians for years and years to come. Whether you are an educator new to teaching first grade, a homeschool parent teaching your young mathematician, or an experienced first grade teacher, my hope is that this math workshop will provide support and guidance for you as you teach your children mathematics. Let me introduce myself if we haven't met. I'm Megan Brewer. I have over 30 years experience in education, ranging from elementary classroom teacher to mathematics coach at a Title I elementary school, mathematics curriculum specialist for a large school district, educational consultant providing professional development across the country, instructional coach for educators in various settings, curriculum designer, and editor. My belief that everyone can be a math person stems from my own journey. Initially, not identifying as mathematically inclined, I discovered my passion for math through progressive opportunities in teaching, leadership, and advanced education. My consulting work is taking me to schools nationwide, from public institutions and urban and rural communities to charter and religious schools. My academic credentials include two master's degrees, with my most recent master's degree in mathematics education from the University of Virginia, reflecting my commitment to deep subject knowledge and pedagogical expertise. I now call North Carolina home, and I did attend Elon University for undergraduate studies, majoring in psychology and minoring in special education. After a recent year volunteering in kindergarten and second grade math classes at local elementary schools, while I was working a remote position for an education and publishing company, I reconnected with my foundational passion, helping students develop confidence and capability as mathematician while genuinely enjoying the learning process, not to mention having tons of fun. Additionally, after traveling the country for over 14 years as a consultant, I am thrilled to have the opportunity to serve in my community. This experience inspired the creation of the Math Workshop. The Math Workshop embodies my mission to provide resources and support that help families, teachers, and students, both locally and globally, to recognize their mathematical potential and developing a lasting appreciation for the subject. These are the four domain areas for mathematics for first grade: operations and algebraic thinking, number and operations in base 10, measurement and data, and geometry. Here are some of the big ideas of first grade math. Students learn to represent and solve addition and subtraction problems within 20 using objects, drawings, or equations with symbols. They also solve word problems involving up to three numbers. Students learn to count from 1 to 120 and recognize numbers up to 120, including odd and even numbers, counting by twos, fives, and tens, and comparing numbers. Students begin to order three objects by length. Compare the lengths of two objects indirectly by using a third object. Also within the measurement domain, students tell and write time in hours and half hours using analog and digital clocks. First graders organize, represent, and interpret data with up to three categories. Ask and answer questions about the total number of data points, how many in each category, and how many more or less are there in one category than in another. Within geometry, they distinguish between defining attributes, like triangles are closed and three-sided, versus non-defining attributes, color, orientation, overall size. They build and draw shapes to possess defining attributes. They also partition circles and rectangles into 2 and 4 equal shares, describing the shares using the words halves, fourths, and quarters, and using the phrases half of, fourth of, and quarter of, starting that foundational fractional work. Now, let's examine the top 3 math tools that can provide a world of difference for our first graders' mathematical understanding of number and lay the foundation for future mathematical connections and concepts. Unifix cubes. These interlocking cubes are excellent for building, counting, comparing, and creating patterns. They can be used for various math activities, including representing numbers, adding, and subtracting. Unifix cubes provide a tangible way for students to explore numbers and their relationships. They can be used to represent numbers, to count, and understand cardinality, the quantity of a set. Students can physically build groups of cubes to represent different quantities, helping them grasp the concept of how many. Unifix cubes are excellent for understanding place value, particularly when working with tens and ones. Students can build sticks of 10 cubes to represent a 10, and then combine these sticks with individual cubes to represent larger numbers. This hands-on approach helps students visualize and understand the meaning of digits in the tens and one place. Unifix cubes can be used to model addition and subtraction problems, making abstract concepts more concrete. Students can physically combine or separate groups of cubes to represent the actions of adding and subtracting. This visual representation aids in understanding basic addition and subtraction facts. Unifix cubes can be used to create patterns, both visually and numerically. Students can sort cubes by color or other attributes, fostering organizational skills and visual discrimination. Unifix cubes can be used to measure length in a very hands-on way. Students can also use them to create models of shapes and objects, reinforcing geometric concepts. After students have had adequate time working with Unifix cubes, base 10 blocks are a great next math tool. Base 10 blocks, ones, tens, and hundreds, are essential for teaching place value, understanding number representation, and performing addition and subtraction with multi-digit numbers. They allow students to physically manipulate objects to develop understanding of these concepts. Place value. Base 10 blocks help students grasp the concept of place value. By physically representing numbers using ones, those are the unit cubes that are yellow in this picture. The tens, can call those the longs. They are the green long rods. And the hundreds, we can call them flats. And in this image, that is the blue piece. Later in second grade, they can use the thousands. That's the large cube that's not pictured here. This visual aid helps them understand that the position of a digit in a number determines its value. Addition and subtraction. Students can physically manipulate the blocks to perform addition and subtraction, making the concepts more concrete and easier to understand. This allows them in later grades to see the process of regrouping or trading when adding and subtracting, which is crucial for developing a deeper understanding of arithmetic. A 100 chart. This is a visual representation of numbers 1 to 100 arranged in a grid. It offers numerous benefits for young learners, particularly in developing number sense and mathematical skills. It aids in counting, skip counting, understanding patterns, and visualizing addition and subtraction strategies. Developing counting and number sense. This chart provides a concrete visual representation of numbers 1 to 100, making it easier for children to understand the sequence and count effectively. Skip counting. This chart facilitates skip counting by demonstrating how numbers are arranged in patterns, like counting by twos, counting by fives, counting by tens. Number recognition. The structured arrangement helps children recognize numbers and their place in the sequence. Identifying patterns. This chart highlights patterns within numbers, such as the repeating digits in the tens place. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Visualizing relationships. It allows students to visually connect numbers and understand their relationships, such as how they relate to each other in rows and columns. Enhancing addition and subtraction skills, adding and subtracting. This chart can be used to visualize addition and subtraction strategies, such as counting up or down by a certain amount. Building place value understanding. By working within the 100 chart, children can develop an understanding of place value as they see how numbers are composed of tens and ones. Problem solving. This chart can be used to solve various math problems, such as finding the number that is 10 more than a given number, or finding the missing numbers in a sequence. Critical thinking. Using the chart encourages critical thinking skills as students analyze patterns, make predictions, and solve problems. My hope is that you found this Welcome to First Grade Math workshop helpful in supporting you and your students. If you want more support, I invite you to join our first grade math workshop community for a year of support. When you join this private community with other first grade educators, you will gain access to a collection of math workshops, which will take a deeper dive into understanding the first grade checklist standards and the math tools you will want to provide for your students. Monthly throughout the year, you will receive engaging hands-on activities, lessons, games, and more to support your first grade students. You can find out more information and how to register on our website.